Ever since Mackenzie peed in my room yesterday, I keep thinking of The Big Lebowski. That scene where he's just sitting there and he goes, "You think the carpet pissers did this?" I think that might be right when it cuts to introducing Jesus Quintana for the first time. No, that couldn't have been the first. That's too late in the movie. Well, I mean, shit, I don't know. I mean, he goes and visits the Big Lebowski. That was pretty early. And then that whole interaction with Brandt was before, before the Dirty Whites, before the Swiss fucking watch. So I don't know. Maybe that was when Jesus was introduced. I threw a towel down just because, they need a place to lay down. And Mackenzie just walks right over and pees on it. She's such an innocent Bambini. I love those dogs. I think yesterday I was talking about how I needed to do a latest posts feed and an excerpt. And those are, none of this is like polished, or as polished as I'd like it to be, but those are in like a state where they work reasonably well. I think the next thing I might do is, right now every time I sync my data sources, which are GitHub and YouTube, or those are my external data sources, I'm fetching everything from those APIs, like all of the history of my account basically, and so I want to get it set up to where I'm incrementally loading. The way that Astro content loaders are supposed to work, you have kind of this persistent data store that you don't manage yourself, that will persist between builds, and that you can incrementally update. I'm not doing that yet. I'm using these intermediate JSON files that I'm just downloading everything into, and I think I'll keep using them for the time being, and just because I won't really have to learn anything new, I can just read those files in, see when the last record was that's in those files, and then use query parameters with the API calls to fetch only stuff since then. And then of course I'll have to be smart about not overwriting the whole file. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm going. I think I can also detect when, because right now I have to hit the repos endpoint to list my repositories, and then I have to hit a different endpoint for each one of those to list the commits. And I think it should be pretty straightforward to detect, based on that first request, whether a repository has been updated since I last ran it. And so anyway, that whole call, that whole fetch won't even need to happen for all those repositories that I haven't touched in months or years. The recent videos feed, I don't really know what I was thinking at first, but it's really obvious to me now that it needs to be like a grid of thumbnails. And I don't think there's any reason not to just use YouTube's CDN for those thumbnails and just keep them external. But yeah, that's very obviously what it needs to be. I do have the metadata that I can add to like an alt tag, or yeah, I guess an alt tag. And unlike usually when you see a YouTube thumbnail, you click on it and the video plays. In this case, it'll link to the day, like the entry for that day, which will have then like an actual YouTube player in it. I know that if I kept focusing on this, I would probably end up refactoring everything at least once. But I think probably a good way to move on to something else for a while and then come back. I think sometimes that's the best mindset to be in. But it's not, it's not like super ugly or anything. I think it's just sort of, it looks like what it is. It looks like sort of a first pass at a project by somebody who has some programming background, but isn't like, it's not like I'm an expert with Astro or TypeScript or anything like that. So I don't want to undersell it. I think it is a legitimate portfolio project, and I think I mean, it's all original, and I think there's a lot of room for, you know, there's kind of a lot of obvious features that can be added to it. It can be made much cooler, basically, and so I like it. It's already Tuesday, so we'll get our next and last module here in a couple of days, and that'll be that. I did just get a text from, or a LinkedIn message from some recruiter about an AEM position. So, I mean, not the first time that's happened, but I'll have to, I just saw the notification, I'll have to look at it.